It's Come Dine with Fee, episode 4.
Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Come Dine with Fee. I've got quite a lot to do today, so I'm gonna try and keep breakfast a little bit shorter, maybe talk a little bit more in the later part of the video. And I'm not actually gonna answer questions in the breakfast video. I've got a different idea about things that I wanted to talk about. But I'm going to have shreddies because they were so good. I've got my teaspoon that says "You are loved," which, do you know what? I need the little reminder at the moment, so gonna use that one. I've got quite an exciting day planned with different ideas of different foods. I did give some clues in one of my previous videos. So yeah, there'll be some reviews on those kind of things. But for breakfast today, I'm having shreddies. So let's crack on. Okay, I'm just going to time lapse having my cereal, and then I'm going to talk whilst I'm having my part 2 and part 3. I just wanted to say what an elite cereal shreddies is. Like, they keep their crunch, they're just wonderful. You can't not do the happy food dance with shreddies. Last bit. All done. My bowl says smile at the bottom. I made it a few years ago. I love it. Part 2 time. Look at this beautiful crumpet. Oh my god, the honey's all come through the bottom. That's crazy. I really wanted to try it with honey this time. See what it's like. It's good. I love honey. I don't know why I don't have it more often. Because I love chocolate. Okay, the thing I wanted to talk about, basically, I made a list of things I've gained because I kept on going. So I wanted to share them because I thought it might be helpful. So number 1, energy, which is really nice. It's nice to not feel tired the entire time. The ability to be in the present, very much so. Side note, look at that honey. Let me show you. You know it's a good honey crumpet when it's like literally come all the way through the bottom. Feeling calmer, definitely. Concentration. More freedom around food, 100%. And I think there's this like idea that like, I know that I'm never gonna be completely spontaneous with food because I'm not a spontaneous person, but it doesn't bother me, all the little things anymore. Like, it doesn't bother me if I have honey or chocolate spread or Biscoff or crumpets or toast or hummus or falafel. Like, it doesn't, I don't think about all those minute details anymore. And that comes from having a better nourished brain, because I noticed a massive difference when I'd been like consistently managing a good amount of food, probably for about, I don't know, I'd say like a big change from like June, July to November. being able to think about the future, actually considering that I have a future and thinking, what do I want to do with the future? Instead of just, my mum always said, like, especially when I was in hospital and when I've been struggling over the years, she said, I used to ask you what was in your head and you just used to say black. And actually one time I drew what was in my head and it was just like black lines, just nothing made sense and everything felt horrible. And now, don't get me wrong, like, things are still difficult some days, but I know where I want to be, I know where I want to get to, and I'm focused on it and I'm going to do it. I have the energy to consider a future, and I have, I guess, the resources in my brain to believe that it's possible, even if it might be difficult. Healing relationships, that was like number one priority for me, and that means more to me than anything. Dog walks, I love my dog walks. Don't want them to hear that because they're asleep at the moment and I haven't taken them out yet. Better sleep, yes. The next one I've written is in brackets, sometimes feeling proud of myself. Being able to join in more, yeah. And actually that is a lot, because I know it's all like, life isn't about food, but food does come up in a lot of situations, and it means a lot to be able to participate. Just thinking as I've just finished that crumpet, things like this, I've not yet had my banana because I've not really thought about it, because I didn't put it in my cereal and I did put it on my crumpet, which is fine because I'll just have it after I've had my next crumpet, because I don't really want it on my crumpet. But like, I don't know, a year ago, 6 months ago, I'd have been like, oh my gosh, I've not started my banana yet. But it's like, just don't really think about it. Anyway, I'm going to go put my second crumpet on. I think I'm going to have honey again, because that was really nice. Go for another honey crumpet. Look at my mug for my coffee today. This is what one of my best friends got me a couple of years ago. It says, you've got this. And then it's got like a little strong muscle thing, and it says all sorts of lovely things in it. Love, strong, beautiful. He is an absolute gem. I really don't think I could have done a lot of what I've been through the last year without him. There are people that I don't massively talk about on these, but they are people in my life who have made a humongous difference and mean the world to me. Side note, what's your favourite kind of honey? Because me and Mum prefer the light coloured one, I can't say the word. That honey. It has fully gone all the way through again. Okay, next one on my list. Be able to trust myself and make judgments and make my judgments better. Does that make sense? Be able to trust myself is a huge one. I used to absolutely fear time alone because it was just time where the anorexia would just take over. But now it's like able to enjoy time alone because I feel more like in a positive way in control of my head. Less hospitals, definitely. I mean, not in hospital anymore. Less talk about hospitals and like specialist units and that kind of stuff. Self-awareness, definitely. Again, just knowing myself, knowing what I want versus when the eating disorder's coming in. And knowing about myself, I guess, you know, being autistic and all those kind of things, but just like knowing who I am and being better able to separate myself or my voice from the eating disorder voice. thicker hair. Yeah, so much regrowth. I've still got like a mane. Crazy. Laughter. That was actually when I started working with my nurse. He was like, where do you want to get to? And I said, I want to be able to belly laugh. And so on like my chart of like my goals, the number one thing at the top is belly laughs. So we always like, how close are we to belly laughs kind of thing? Like we don't, I should probably explain that. I have a chart, obviously like my physical health is tracked and monitored, but it doesn't have any numbers on it because I find it really unhelpful. So we've got lines on it that were like goals. So getting out the wheelchair was one, going on an hour-long dog walk was one. And yeah, at the top, there's belly laughs. And at the bottom of my sheet, I've written, I don't want to look back in 10 years' time and regret what I didn't do because I was unwell. I won't regret the pizza. I will regret avoiding the pizza because it was tricky. Invest in future fee. And I do recommend writing a list if you're going through a change or anything, because as I said in one of my previous videos, like motivation isn't there 24/7. You know, you get tired, there are bad days, and that's when, for me, having a list of, okay, this is why I'm doing it, it just reminds me to keep on track, because I'm like, no, I made this commitment to myself, this is why I made it. Actually, these are all the things I've benefited it from doing, making that change and keeping to it. And I know that those things on that list will only grow. And I know that if I go backwards, they will all go. So we're going for growing over going. I think about a year ago when I was going through that really difficult, that really like dark place, and it was horrible and painful and difficult, and I didn't think I could do it. And me and my dad had a really good chat, and he was sort of like, you know, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be painful, but think about yourself in a year. If you manage to keep on going, your life in a year will be as you want it. And if you don't keep on going, you're going to go back down to the horrible depths of that. And then you're just going to have to go through the process again anyway. And he's very much sort of like, invest in your future. It's not going to be easy, but as I've written on my piece of paper here, like, I'm not going to look back in 10 years and regret doing better and keeping on going. Like, I will regret going backwards again. And despite the noises in my head being very, very noisy sometimes, I know that if I give in to them, all that's going to happen is they're going to get louder, and I'm going to have to go through the whole process all over again. And I'm not going to let that happen. On that note, last bit of crumpet. Coffee. Actually, can I have my banana? So yeah, I hope this has been helpful. I've just seen the time. I do apologise. I said it was going to be short, but right. I'm going to finish my banana and see you guys a bit later. Morning snack time. And I said that I was going to try this in like, I think it was 2 videos ago. I picked up this honeycomb flavour salted caramel Mars bar. And I'm really excited to see how it is. I'm a little bit like skeptical, just, I don't know. Sometimes these things get ruined when you do too much to it. But the raspberry one I tried probably like a few months ago, it's definitely one of my previous videos, was incredible. So I've got high hopes for this, which might work out or might not. But having that obviously with my apple, which I'm just going to time lapse quickly first because that's boring. Okay, Mars bar time. I really hope it is as good as the raspberry one. I love honeycomb and I love salted caramel, so Fingers crossed. Smells interesting. Without reading all the bits I don't need to read, it says, a light and fluffy honeycomb flavoured nougat smothered in a creamy salted caramel coated in a thick milk chocolate. That sounds good. This is what it looks like. It's like a Mars bar, to be honest. Got my Mars bar. Let's see how this goes. There is so much caramel. Look at all that caramel. You're going to have to give me a minute or so to think what I think about it. Okay. I love the honeycomb flavoured nougat. There is so much caramel, which is beautiful. The chocolate's lovely, as always. But I'm not getting salted caramel. Like, it's really tasty. It's probably as tasty as the raspberry one. I really like it. But I'm not getting the flavours it's supposed to be. Just look how much caramel there is. Like, it's the right colours. It's really nice. Don't get me wrong, it is really nice. I just don't, there's a little bit of a honeycomb flavour. I'm finding this really difficult to rate because it is so tasty, but it's not what it says. Like, it is really nice. There is definitely no salted to this caramel. There is definitely no salted to this caramel. I am getting a little bit of honeycomb flavour. Last bit, and then I'll give my verdict. I'll think about my verdict whilst I'm eating it. Just whilst I'm eating it. Okay. As a bar, if it was not advertised as honeycomb with salted caramel, I would probably give that 9.5 to 10 out of 10. Really tasty. As a bar that's advertised as a honeycomb flavour with salted caramel, I get the honeycomb actually. Like, I did start to get that towards the end. Salted caramel, no. Caramel, yes. To be honest, I don't know if it would need the salted caramel. It would have been quite nice. I guess like the sweetness of the honey and the sweetness of the caramel and the chocolate, and, you know. So I'm going to drop it down to a 9 out of 10. But I do recommend trying. Really tasty. They're in B&M if you want to go and buy them. Yeah, they are good. I actually think I prefer that to the raspberry one. But I don't know if that's just because I love honeycomb and therefore in my head it's the nicer one because it's got honeycomb and I'm not like the biggest fan of raspberry chocolate and like fruit chocolate stuff. Really tasty and highly recommend you go and try one if you can. I hope you've had your snack with me. Did you have a Mars bar? Did you try the new one? Do you prefer the like changed stuff or the originals? Because I have to say, Mars bars were perfectly good as they were. Like, you didn't really need to add anything. But I do love honeycomb, so I definitely wanted to try that. Yeah, I've had a salted caramel Mars bar and I didn't notice any salted to the caramel, and it didn't really change it at all. But I liked the honeycomb flavouring of the nougat. That was nice. Okay, that's my review. That's my snack done.
After my morning snack, I went into uni to do some work, and I did something I've wanted to do for ages. And I popped to a shop and picked up a bap for my lunch, got a chicken mayo bap, and yeah, sat down and ate it. I think this is one of those things that it might seem really, I don't know, a very typical thing. Like, I guess most people don't really think too much about just grabbing a sandwich and, I don't know, going into uni or having lunch out or something. But for me, this is something that I've wanted to do. Like, this was a lunch that I really wanted to try, and I think we all know by now I struggle to let myself have the things that I like. But I really wanted to try the chicken mayo, and yeah, the bap looked really good. And I was a bit nervous when I went into the shop because I couldn't see any, and I was like, no, they don't have the chicken mayo. But then I found the chicken mayo and I was like, okay, it's meant to be. So I had the chicken mayo. The only bit I didn't have was the tomatoes, because I really do not like tomatoes in sandwiches. I actually had quite a long conversation about this with my nurse. I just cannot understand tomatoes in sandwiches. Like, they kind of go soggy, but just that I can't do them. Don't know if it's an autism thing. Don't know if it's just I do not enjoy tomatoes in a sandwich. And my nurse my nurse says they're dangerous in a toasty because they get very hot. So together we decided that tomatoes should remain outside of sandwiches and toasties and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, kept on going, finished my chicken bap, and it was so good. Look at that chicken mayo, absolutely beautiful. And yeah, kept on going. And then after I finished my chicken bap, I obviously had the rest of my lunch. I then moved to the study area of uni, and I had my mini cheddars and my sorrel whilst I was working, and then I had a pot of chocolate custard when I got home.
For my afternoon snack today, I've put together a snack plate because I've wanted to try doing like a snack plate for a while. And usually I just have something a bit bigger for my afternoon snack, like one bigger thing. But I thought I'm gonna give it a go and see what it's like. So I've definitely got enough. So I've got a strawberry drink to have. This is my favourite honeycomb bar. It's so nice. And I've also got some dairy milk buttons. And yeah, this bar is one of the best. It's like a crunchy but better. It's salted caramel as well. And I've not had one for ages and ages and ages. And to be honest, it's Christmas stuff that I just haven't had yet, so I'm gonna have this. Love Milky Bar buttons, dairy milk buttons, and I've never tried this before. It's just a strawberry drink, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna have the drink. God, They do not make these easy to get into. By the way, I'm not going to answer many questions. I'm probably going to time lapse most of this just because it's turning into a really long video again. It smells nice. And all done. It was okay, actually. I've got the chocolate one to try, so I'm quite excited for the chocolate one. Get my chocolate buttons. A very strange noise from the dishwasher. I love chocolate buttons. I don't know why chocolate tastes so much better in button form, but it does. Best ways to eat buttons: get two, stick them together, and then eat them like this. Right, I'm just going to time lapse this because then I can do my bar. Okay, definitely save the best bit till last. I know how much I love this. Oh, that smell, it smells so good. Oh, it's broken. Broken. That is okay. That's the whole bar. So I got these at Christmas, and because they're literally my favourite. But I've only ever found them from like one shop in London. So, right, 2 halves. We're gonna have both halves, obviously. First bite. It is so good. I prefer this to a crunchy. It is just the flavour, and just look at that honeycomb. It's so beautiful. I actually do have a Cadbury's Crunchy for my Christmas collection still. But I really wanted this today. So, having this. It's just, I don't know how they've done it so well. It's like milk chocolate, honeycomb obviously, but it's got like the salted caramel flavour to it too. And it sounds like it wouldn't work, but it does. Right, the second half. It's just so good. 10 out of 10. It's so tasty. You can probably hear like the crunchiness, but it's also like got that honeycomb like stickiness to it. I didn't try honeycomb until last February, way too late in life. But I just assumed that I wouldn't like it because I struggle trying new foods. But ever since I tried that first crunchy, it's like, okay, honeycomb I know now is my thing. And this is the best honeycomb bar I've tried. Like, this is better than a crunchy. Okay, last little bit. I actually feel okay. Like, I do feel okay about it. I thought I'd find it quite difficult having like lots of different things, but they're all things that either I wanted to try or I know I like. You can't go wrong with Cadbury's buttons. And the problem is, like, Cadbury's buttons are not enough for a snack, so I would always have them with different things. But it was just a bit difficult having them with something else that was sort of chocolatey. And like, I'm not a huge one on like thick drinks, but luckily this isn't too thick. It's not like I really don't like heavy milkshakes and stuff. Really, I can't, never ever been able to do milkshakes. The best part, definitely the honeycomb bar. I'm gonna have more of the honeycomb bars. I'm gonna do more of the snack plates because this has been fun. And I've done it. Okay, let's keep going. Did you have a snack too? Do you like a crunchy? Because I think I didn't like crunchies because I always thought that, well, yeah, they're a crunchy bar, and I used to really, really, really despise the texture of like crunchy foods. But I'm a bit better at that, like, as in like the first 20 years of my life, I actively avoided crunchy foods. And it has the word crunchy on it, so that just wasn't going to happen. But no, I love honeycomb now. That would be amazing if it was white chocolate. I've tried the dark chocolate one and I didn't like it as much. But yes, very, very good. Cadbury's been buttons, always good. And strawberry drink was good. So yeah, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10.
To be honest, I had a really difficult afternoon, but I had cuddles with the dogs, had my headphones in, and I kept on going.
It is dinner time and I have got shepherd's pie. I think actually, yeah, it's minced beef, so I think it's shepherd's. Or does that make it cottage pie? I can't remember. Basically, got minced beef, and then mashed potato, and then some broccoli. I was going to answer a couple of questions whilst I had this. So, have you got your dinner? Go and get your dinner if you've not, and let's do it together. First bit. That's so good. I feel like shepherd's pie is like such a good dish for a cold day, which it is cold today. I've had a lot of questions about autism and things like that, which I want to do like a whole video on it, which is why I've probably not like massively gone into it yet. Random question for other people. What's your favourite type of potato? Sweet potato or normal? I prefer sweet potato. It's just so good. Look at that. Perfect sweet potato. You're not having it. What are your comfort shows? Do you have any go-to brands? I don't know what the brands question is referring to. Comfort shows. Anything medical. Anything. Like, there's so much out there at the moment, like medical themed. I just find it fascinating. I absolutely love it. All the kind of things about, I don't know, like the human body and everything like that. I guess I'm quite a documentaries person. Comfort shows. I love Friends. Who doesn't love Friends? I don't know. I don't watch a huge amount of TV, to be honest. I think I definitely have more like comfort films, which I've definitely done my favourite films before, and those are the ones that just make me really happy. Mamma Mia, you can't go wrong with Mamma Mia. I have to think about this one. I have to say, I'm not the best at starting new shows. Like, I'd rather rewatch the ones that I know I like over and over again. Okay, I've got a question. What's your favourite season? I couldn't decide. I couldn't. I love, initially I'd go to winter because I love Christmas, but I also love the spring because I just love it when it starts getting lighter and then the flowers start coming up and the trees start budding and it starts getting warmer, the days get longer. But then I love summer because of the long days and just being warmer in general. And I just feel better in summer. But then I love autumn as well because I just think it's so beautiful when all the trees change colours, and I love like the knitwear season, and I don't know, getting a nice warm cup of coffee and that kind of thing. I couldn't decide what my favourite season was. What inspires you to keep moving forward on awful days? I guess the knowledge that if I don't keep on going, I'm not going to get that full recovery that I want. And I do believe it's possible. And I know a lot of people say it's not possible. I believe it is. And I, for that reason, will prove it by doing it. I don't want to live like in like a quasi? I can never say that word. That kind of place where I'm existing, but not, I don't know, enjoying life to the max. And I guess for me, like, I just want to be free of this. I just want to feel happy. I want to feel comfortable in my own skin. I want to feel better. I want food to be part of the day. I don't want it to be a stress. I don't know, what keeps me going? Knowing that it is possible to get better, fully better, knowing that it's worth it. I know people that are fully recovered and I know it's possible, and I will not stop until I get there. So I don't know what it is externally that keeps me going. Loads of different things, I guess. But at the heart of it, I know that it's possible to get better. It's not easy. And I've had a difficult day, and do you know what? I felt, I don't want to cry in this. But I'm sitting down and having my dinner because I'm not going to let a difficult day stop it. What keeps me going? I know it can get better. I know I can get better. I know everything can get better. And I know that life isn't perfect and things aren't going to suddenly be, there's still going to be difficulties and everything like that. But I will say I recovered from an eating disorder. And this is the way I'm doing it, by keeping on going. I guess, I do try and hold, a positive front up. But the reality is I'm human. Not every day is perfect. I don't always feel great. I don't always feel motivated. But I know that my actions impact where I want to be. So on the days that I am feeling like I am today and a bit low and a bit anxious, and the number of times today I've had to take a deep breath and just think, okay. But I know I need to keep on getting better. I made that promise to myself. And I know that to do that, I need to still sit down to dinner, because going backwards is not an option. So let's keep on going. Last bit. We can do it, even on difficult days. I have just seen how long that dinner segment of the video was. I'm so sorry. I have got my dessert. I'm having 2 biscuits, digestive biscuits, best biscuits, with yogurt. I'm just going to time lapse this because otherwise it's going to be really long. I am really sorry. I do want to quickly ask the question though, what is your favourite biscuit? Because mine is digestives, or fig rolls, which I know is a bit controversial, but I absolutely love fig rolls. Yeah, plain digestives though. Can't beat it. I do have bourbons as well. I hate custard creams though. Like, I don't sit on the fence about that one. I do not like custard creams. Anyway, time lapse. And we are all done. Yeah, today's not been an easy day. You can probably tell on my face that it's been a difficult day. And I think in so many ways, like, I just wanted these videos to be happy and smiley and okay. Because generally I am doing really well. But I don't know. I also always try and be real, and I guess I get so many messages from people thanking me for being real. And yeah, it's been a difficult day. But I kept on going, kept on doing the next right thing, and kept on trying my best. And I know that that's what's important. So I'm gonna have my routine evening, which is okay and helpful for me. I'm gonna have a chill evening and just take it easy. Do wind down time, chill time, you know how it goes. I'll pop in my night snack. But yeah, thank you for coming and dining with V, because it's helped me feel less alone. And I feel like even though it's been a difficult day, there's been some successes today, and I'll hold on to those.
After dinner, I finished my paint by numbers, then I started my new one, then I had my night snack, and I wanted to finish this video on this quote. And I am so sorry it's taken me so long to get it out to you guys.